There's something very, very wrong there. Bafuze Yabo is speaking on behalf of the ANC in the region, and he joins us tonight. Good to have you with us. That's the development. There is something very, very wrong with those documents. In fact, he goes on to say that they will, in the next 48 hours, be able to outline a little bit more what they think is problematic about those documents. Has Dr. Makwarela been rehabilitated?
Good evening, Thabo, and good evening to your viewers. The question you asked me is outside of my purview, unfortunately. The only requirement by law for a person who's been rehabilitated from insolvency is that they apply to a court of law after a period of sequestration. And usually this is after 4 years of having applied for sequestration and after your affairs have been put to order by the trustees that would have been appointed by the master of the court. Now, after the 4th year, you can apply. And if you have applied, the court looks at the matter. And if they are satisfied that you have met the requirements of being rehabilitated insolvent, they grant you the certificate. And that's it. It's a question of law. It's not even a question of politics anymore. And I see that the DA and its acolytes, they're really trying to make this out to be a political matter. And it's not a political matter. It's a legal matter that has got the finances of a person involved in it. It's not politics. And unfortunately, we wouldn't want to wade into those waters and to cast aspersions, cast judgment. If the law is specific on a matter and the law has been satisfied that the requirements have been met, then who are we to speak as if we are a court that is able to bring about judgment on such matters? And if there is an issue, also the law will pronounce itself on that. We are here concerned about the state of the city. Yes. We are here concerned about the state of the political state of our city as it stands, and the financial state of our city as it stands. The issue of law is very complex. You can't reason it by common sense. And I see many people trying to reason this out using common sense. You may even be surprised that this may even be a precedent-setting case.
Have you, though, in your concern for the city, given yourself time as the ANC to scrutinize some of these questions that are being raised, and have you satisfied yourself, not in terms of course, interfering with the law as you put it, but purely out of your own interest of a stability in the city? Because it can't work, this thing of we wake up Monday, the mayor is removed as a PR councillor from the IEC. We wake up on Tuesday, he's back again. I mean, a chance of getting the ball rolling and focusing on services and delivery there, very slim, because you are now dealing with this back and forth. Is it not something that the ANC would want to actually sit down? It's not a coalition that you're having, it's some voting arrangement, but be sure that this voting circle, this voting, what you call it, grouping, is solid, and there is nothing that will come in the middle of it.
Without trying to be investigators ourselves, we take the word of the IEC very seriously. The IEC received a letter from the city manager stating that he had received the proof of the certificate of rehabilitation. We take the IEC seriously because we believe that the IEC is a serious institution in our country. Having said that, we find it very strange that the councillor, Dr. Makwarela, has been councillor in the city since 2021. And now at this point, after he took a decision that he took, all these things are coming out. And it's typical of apartheid-style police branch methodologies to us, what we are seeing here. And we would have felt that if there is to be credibility on the part of the DA, in as far as raising this issue now, and they are conveniently passing it on to the city manager. They should have raised it from the word go, and this speaks to their own credibility. It speaks to their own integrity as a party. For as long as it works for them, it's fine. They can keep things under wraps, and as soon as that's working against them, they start making noise about the same thing. They beat about the tom-toms. It is very, 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 very dishonest, in my view, what they are doing now. We said when this news broke that we would rather leave this as a process of law, and that Dr. Makwarela should be afforded audi alteram partem, as he should be afforded, so that he is able to state his side of the story and produce evidence and be given time to do so. And so we have always been clear that until the legal process has been satisfied, he remains executive mayor of the city of Tshwane.
Yeah. So those who want to dispute his documentation, you're saying they can go ahead and do so. You're not going to be party to that?
No, those who say they want to dispute, I mean, perhaps they themselves have a witch hunt they would want to satisfy, or perhaps they are themselves detectives or investigators. We are not that. We are a political party which stands for the rights of our people, and we want to see that our people's lives become better, jobs being created, poverty being overcome, issues of criminality and the rise of violent crimes being dealt with decisively, the scarcity of water in areas like Mitsweding, Social Guve being dealt with decisively, and Hambanskral as well. So we are concerned about those things, service delivery to our people. We are not concerned about witch hunts which seek to investigate the personal affairs of individuals. And we are not vindictive like that. And if there is an issue that is legal and should be answered for by Dr. Makwarela, let the process unfold, and it should unfold in all fairness without prejudice. But it should not be used as a weapon now to try and discredit as you may have referred to it as a voting arrangement. We call it a government of local unity. To discredit a government of local unity, which is here to grab the chance to service the people, something that the DA has failed to do over the last 6.5 years, with 4 executive mayors now having left within that period.
How solid is this voting bloc, this government of national unity or local unity, as you put it, in what, for example, one part of this government of local unity is saying, which is the EFF, that by Monday we should be going ahead with the voting of the Speaker and the executive of Dr. Makwarela. How successful do you think you're going to be in voting for your Speaker, considering that the multi-party coalition is now scrutinizing some of its own members who voted with you, in some instances taking them through lie detector tests?
In actual fact, that point you make is reason enough for us to believe that the voting bloc is solid, for enough to set off panic within the courts of the DA and Action SA. They are literally in panic mode. They are taking people through lie detector tests. This is almost deja vu. This is like apartheid replaying itself all over again. These are the same people who say to other parties, in fact, to us as the African National Congress at various levels, that we should allow our members to vote using their conscience in legislatures, in parliament, etc. Now, their members have voted using their conscience, and now they're taken through lie detector tests. I think if that is a litmus test of how solid the voting bloc is, that should be the indicator right there.
And you think if today you were to go into that vote of for a speaker, you would emerge with the speaker that you want sitting in that position? They
themselves know the outcomes. They themselves know. The DA, Action SA, all of them, they know the outcomes. And this is why they are intensifying their witch hunt within their own ranks to find what they would call moles or sellouts. But these are people who are voting using their conscience. I mean, if you have an executive mayor candidate who, before he's even elected, styles himself as an executive mayor-elect, and he starts speaking about selling assets of the city without even speaking in one council meeting, without even the ink drying on the paper that he signed to be a PR councillor in the city of Tshwane. These members decided with their conscience to vote against such a preposterousness that they were brought about, that was brought about by the DN to the city. And even now, on Monday, watch the space.
Talk to me about your feeling then as the voting bloc on the municipal manager who clearly has removed the executive mayor that you voted for, now has had to reinstate that executive mayor. The councillors, they're saying, well, he did his job, that's what he was supposed to do.
We have warned the city manager and given him an admonition that he must not act ultra vires, he must not overextend the reach of his powers. In the manner that he did. We think he jumped the gun. He should have provided sufficient time. That is reasonable enough for Dr. Makwarela to respond. The primary rule when you deal with matters of this nature is that you must give the other party an opportunity to respond. The Audi alteram rule can never be dispensed with without proper attention given to it. And so, in terms of procedure and process, he really acted ultra vires. He should have allowed process to unfold as provided for within legal prescripts and satisfied himself that, yes, I have now met the basic requirements of law and now I can move ahead. But the way he did, it's as if he was inspired from somewhere, whispered that we need this thing done and we need it done now.
Yeah. What do we read into that warning? Should we read into that warning that the city manager might be purged? Should, again, as you say, watch what comes out on Monday and you're successful and you're able to install your government of local unity?
I do not think the African National Congress stands for instability. We do not stand for instability. Of course, we will engage with all other parties in relation to this matter, but we do not stand to destabilize the city any more than it has been destabilized. And so our view is not antagonistic, it's not adversarial as far as the city manager is concerned, but we do issue a stern warning that he must make sure that he is on the right side of the law all the time. He is an accounting officer. He must not be seen acting impulsively on the basis of either a rumor or even if there are facts on the table, but he must follow process and follow it to the T.
Bafuze, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on. Bafuze Yabo, he is ANC's regional spokesperson there, responding to some developments as far as the legitimacy of the documentation presented by Mayor of Tshwane, Dr. Murunwa Makwarela.